Hey guys, and welcome back to another Sims 4 Finish Me video. We're back doing another one of Bruised Momo's Finish Me fams. This is number 7. As you can see, this is kind of just a floating shell. She wanted to do something weird. She's done something weird. Let's get into trying to make it into something that somewhat resembles a house. So this is a tiny home. Well, it's the biggest of the 3 tiers, so this is technically a small home if you have tiny living installed. It's only 100 tiles. So yeah, it's like the maximum amount of space you can have. And as all of this has been placed, and it's a shell challenge, I'm not allowed to move any of it. So this is what we're stuck with. I wanted to keep it as a tiny home, so I can't add any space either. So we're literally only allowed to stick some roofs on, put some stairs in so we can actually, you know, walk around the lot, and furnish it, really. So looking at this floating sections of build, I wasn't entirely sure to begin with how I wanted to go with it, so I had to go at, you know, just sticking some roofs on, to kind of figure out how I could actually even kind of begin, and I found out pretty quickly that I think this has definitely lent itself to a kind of modern build. I couldn't think of how to make it a more traditional build, given that it's such an odd shape and floating. And I did have a little bit of a play around earlier with like trying to make it like a tree house kind of thing, so it would have been a bit more jungle themed. But whatever I was doing, I hated, so that's not going to be it for this one. Potentially other people will do more treehousey builds. If you want to search the hashtag FinishMeFam number 7, I think. I'll put the correct hashtag in the description. If you want to search that on the gallery, you'll see what other people have done, and they might have, you know, made this all treehousey fantasy. But yeah, anyway, so I've gone for a more modern build. The reason I've used mostly half gabled roofs rather than like the half walls is that when you close a half wall, it makes more like tiles, so it would have counted as more tiles than 100. So I couldn't have done that because that would just, you know, not make it a tiny home anymore. Hence why I've got mainly gabled roofs. If I was doing this, you know, without making it tiny home, I probably would have done slightly different roofing, but I quite like how it played out. The kind of angles that things are at, still think it looks kind of modern. And as you can see right now, I am putting in a bunch of kind of stilt supports, that, you know, I didn't want to just use columns because I thought that would just look a bit strange and a bit weird, and it didn't look, you know, blocky enough, whereas I quite enjoy the like lines of wall, really. And since this bit of house is not quite as high up as the other one, by using a wall underneath, it has to go further into the ground, hence why I'm sinking it in a bit more. And by doing the train sinking it in, I think it like fits the landscape a bit better. It makes sense that you have this, you know, all these different heights of floating houses. So yeah, actually saying floating houses, then I've thought of a cool idea that if you guys want to have a go at, then please do. I might have a go at later. Is that you could have actually made them into 3 separate tiny houses, and it could have been like a little community. That's not the way I've gone, because that would have entailed having a lot more detailed and very intricate houses. Instead, I've just sort of spaced the house out. Really? So you've got a bathroom section, a kitchen section, a living, sleeping section. So yeah, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute when I actually start furnishing. So I was very much going along the modern theme of just doing, you know, black and white, but different textures. So I've gone for different black bricks and concrete, so that everything was a little bit different, but it definitely has that classic kind of modern monochrome look from the exterior. Inside we are going to have a bit more colour, It's not going to be totally black and white. Actually, I don't think any of it's black and white. It's just the outside. And obviously, putting in a bit of terrain paint so you can actually see where you're supposed to walk. At the moment, it's very messy. There we go. Straightening it up a bit. Oh, it even starts from scratch. I do that quite a lot with terrain paint, actually. It's the kind of this is what I'm wanting to go for, and then it doesn't look right, and then I've got an actual idea in my head of actually how to do it. So we move on with that. And I think we're about to start finishing on the inside. We've had enough of all the windows. I tried not to go too window mad. As you can see, I was trying to put on maybe a few more, but like in a different style. I've just gone for the Spa Day big windows without the tint. I think it's like the second swatch or something. I find that my favourite one, and it matches one of the doors, is the right height, which is the main reason why I used it in the first place. So, I think, yeah, going from memory, just going around and putting in some flooring, because that top section is mainly diagonal. That's why I use the vampires flooring, because it's on a diagonal and it's just easier to, it looks better than just having a really diagonal thing. So, putting some lights in. Gotta have some lights before you build. That would be my one tip. Before you furnish anything you've built, put lights in. You can see everything better. So yeah, so this is my kitchen setup, where basically one half has your fridge, your stove, a bit of counter space and a sink, and the other side has a little bar area where you can sit and enjoy yourself. That piece there you go. Will have seen that was there from the start of the video. That's the hidden secret item that's in every single one of Bruised Momo's Finish Me's. Got to include that somewhere. So there we go. We have the basis of the kitchen, and we're going to try and, you know, make it look a little bit more decorated. So, as I said, I didn't want to have totally monochrome, so I've gone for the blue counter of this one, which is from the Cool Kitchen Stuff pack, I think. And I never use this swatch. I rarely use this counter. If I do use this counter, I normally use it in black. So I thought, blue one, I think it looks quite nice, it's quite fresh, it's still very modern. And here I found the matching other neon signs. So I've kind of put them together with the hidden item that we had to use, just to make it a bit fun and a bit funky. It's like a bit of fun art on the wall in the kitchen that you can enjoy while you're sat having either your cereal or your spaghetti or your grilled cheese, whatever you've made. Yeah, just something a little nice. And again, I'm putting my fridge into a cabinet because inbuilt fridges are my life. I want one. But yeah, a few decorative objects. Gotta have a bit of that clutter, not too much, and nothing that is really jazzy or anything. And I thought this tile from Parenthood worked really well with the kind of look of this kitchen. So it's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit dark, but I think actually it works really well. Though, I mean, like, what Sims builder doesn't think that the stuff they've made doesn't look good, unless they're doing like a, you know, random pack challenge or something. We never like finish anything unless we think it looks nice. So yeah, since we had a little bit of decking out this side, I thought that would be really nice as like a little table and chairs. So if you didn't fancy staring at the neon lights as you ate your dinner, you could, you know, have a look on the street as you did. Now we've come up to the main section. This is the biggest bit of house that we have, and this is going to be the bedroom and living space. So you see, we have got a little bit of like a panoramic window up the top there, which I thought would be lovely in the bedroom, you know. I do put some curtains on that, don't worry. But yeah, so I'm just kind of blocking where I can fit anything, because it means moving a few windows around, and as you saw, I've just deleted a window as well because there was too much going on. So, to divide up the bedroom and the living space without actually making it feel very, very closed and kind of making each of the spaces feel smaller, I've put up the dividers, which I think actually makes spaces feel bigger, because there's not anything quite as large or as barrier-like. But yeah, just my personal opinion. If you wanted to put a wall in there, you can do. Your Sims won't mind. But yeah, so we've got a little couch in my favourite texture ever. Love that texture. Please do more Sims. Got a little TV. I've sized down like my favourite plant from... I feel like it came with Get Famous and like to fit in with the contemporary styled items. I might be wrong though. But yeah, so put that in there. We've got the Kallax bookcase because I don't care what the Sims say, that's a Kallax shelf from IKEA. I put in one of my other favourite plants, the orange like tree, just the best. And that kind of fits off that area. So in the bedroom I had this little indent, it's like alcove, which I thought was perfect for a dresser and stuff, and I didn't want like a normal dresser because I didn't think it fitted, but that, again, from the Get Famous stuff pack, that like rail worked really well. And again, we had a little bit of space, so I put a little chair with a plant and a lamp. You can imagine like reading in your bedroom area if you wanted to unwind rather than sitting staring at a TV. You know, we're zooming through this really quickly, guys. Surprisingly, I think it's because it was a tiny home, it didn't take me that long, and because it was modern, I didn't want to over clutter it. So this was, you know, quite a speedy build. Though, if anyone here might have already noticed the problem with where I've put the lights. Do you remember? We had a glass roof. I've put the lights in where the skylight is. So before we do any screenshots, I do fix this. The lights end up being more off to the sides, but everything works. It's okay. I have also tested that bed. If you thought it was too close to the side, a Sim can be and sleep on either side of that bed. All is fine. Out on this bit of decking, just putting a few bits, a yoga mat, a bonsai tree, and just a few, you know, kind of hedges, just to make it look a little bit more, you know, full and of life. And that kind of thing, and obviously putting a few lights around so that when it gets dark it's not totally dark, because, you know, down here is the bathroom, so if your Sim needs to pee in the middle of the night, they've got to walk all the way down here. So pardon me, I've used a bathtub shower combination from Parenthood, the tiny living toilet and a base game sink, and then the tiny living like mirror as well, because I think it's so cute. I love it. And then I've used like subway tiles halfway around the room. I'm really liking that at the moment, like a half subway tiles in a bathroom, because, you know, you don't need them everywhere, but you really do need them behind a sink. So anyway, just a little bit of landscaping, and then we are on to the screenshots, guys. So there we go. It's the exterior of the house. I think it looks quite modern, quite free. I think maybe the grass is a bit too green, but, you know, different seasons will do different things if you have seasons installed. So this is just all the exteriors. Here we are in the bathroom. Again, it's quite a thin, narrow bathroom. I'm not sure how, like, if you had two Sims in there at a time, they might not fare well, but, you know, one Sim will be fine. Up here in the kitchen, again, I seem to have gone for a little bit of a blue vibe. Maybe just the kitchen and the bathroom. I mean, I'm only saying that because of the shower curtain in the bathroom. But here we go. The living space. Lovely. We've still got a little arts nook for you to be able to paint some paintings. The bedroom, which I think looks lovely. Like, the skylight would be beautiful during the day, and at night I think it would also be really good, but maybe not first thing in the morning. You wouldn't be able to sleep in, I don't think. But anyway, if you guys have enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up. Comment anything you like down in the description, as long as it's not offensive. Subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys later. Bye!